She talked about Kamala Harris laughing about incarcerating people for even cannabis incarceration, which to me is just something that you can't do when you're on that same exact interview on the Breakfast Club saying that you're fine with smoking weed and you did that in college. That's just a complete like deviation from what it is that you're saying. But if we're comparing that type of character to someone like Donald Trump, someone who's civilly liable for sexual abuse, someone who called his daughter a hot piece of ass with Howard Stern, someone who's a 34 count felon, someone who's a religious prosecutor, tried to ban all Muslims from coming to the country, someone who bragged about watching young women change during his own like pageantry, and who cheated on all of his spouses. Like, this is not somebody who we should respect as a person of adequate character or somebody that should be the executive of a country. I think the personhood really matters, and it's just undeniable that Kamala Harris is somebody
unbelievable
that
you would even talk about his personal character. You guys got no moral high ground to stand on. You believe in taking toddlers and infants and underage
children.
Do I get
a second closing? Do I get a second closing statement as well?
Please have 3. You could have 3 if you want. You could have 5. Because you know, when our founding fathers actually started this country, they locked themselves in D.C. for 3 months, and they didn't come out until the ideas were sorted. So I'm perfectly willing to tell you all night, sir. You had no moral high ground to stand on to talk about Donald Trump's sexual indiscretions or anything other comment that he made. Your side of the aisle is fundamentally in lockstep with an ideology and cultural norm where you bring underage kids to watch grown men dressed up in lingerie.
Notice again how Royce continues to go
lingerie.
Notice again how Royce continues on to go with the dichotomy of the political partisanship.
You don't agree with that?
I'm not somebody who's a Democrat. I came into
this. Do you agree with that?
I came into
do you
this
agree with? Do you agree with bringing little kids to drag queen shows?
Here we go again. Royce continues to deviate from the conversation. I'm not someone who's cheerleading.
You brought in moral character. I'm asking you.
You're saying your side.
Yeah.
What side are you talking about? I'm
Kamala
an
Harris'
independent
side.
actor, somebody who's talking.
I'm talking about Kamala Harris' side, but now I'm asking you.
Can you steel man my argument, Royce? Can you steel man my argument?
I'm asking you a direct question.
Do I support Kamala Harris in her entirety?
You do.
I do. Okay, thank you, Royce. Thank you.
You're just saying you don't.
I understand that you guys want to probably move it on soon.
You're just saying
Mason, if you do want to answer that question about
do you think it's okay to bring little kids to drag queen shows where they're dressing up like strippers and white liberal women are giving giving dollar bills to their daughters and sons to go stuff in the fishnet stockings of drag queens? Do you agree with that? Because David Pakman did. So I just want to know from you.
Royce, drag queens are not a cornerstone of my political ideology.
No, that's not the question.
Something that's important to me. I know that you might be thinking about drag performance every day, and maybe that's something that you.
No, my point is you can't talk about Donald Trump. You can't talk about Donald Trump's character because now your character's in question, sir.
Are there drag queens in the room with us right now?
When you say I'm an independent actor,
are there drag queens?
When you say independent actor, no, you're not, because you got the same party little sort of apprehension to answer that question straight. Same way David Pakman did. You can't say it with a straight. You can't say it with a full throat. You can't say that it's inappropriate and it borderlines probably should be illegal to bring a toddler or an infant or even a small child, a grade school child. Let's even go all the way up to high school for Pete's sake, to see a drag queen stripper show if you're an adult. It's completely inappropriate.
Do you think that we should jail parents that bring their kids to Hooters?
And there's your answer, Jake. And that's why I cut him off, because he's a cuck.
Oh no,
there you go. You're a cuck for the Democrat Party. That's
an answer, Royce. Why can't you answer with a straight face? Should we jail parents that bring their kids to Hooters?
First of all, what Hooters have you been to where the
I don't go to Hooters personally. That's not something I'm interested in.
So how can you even reference Hooters then? Wait a second. How can you even reference Hooters?
Because you're trying to say that the government has ultimate authority to remove.
This is what you guys do. You're talking this hyperbolic vacuum. You've never even been there.
Have you been to drag clubs? You've been to drag shows?
No, I've seen it with my own eyes. Are you talking about Hooters through a visual? Are you talking about Hooters? Is your reference of Hooters through a visual third medium, like you saw it on video? Is there some
you're so defensive of Hooters? Can't you just say that
I'm not defending Hooters.
Can't you
I'm just saying there's a difference.
Consistent with your worldview, you think that the government should be able to, I don't know, penalize or jail, or I don't know what
the waitresses at Hooters,
people who are bringing their kids to Hooters.
Waitresses at Hooters stand up on the tables.
Do you think that Hooters is not inherently sexual? Do you think it's sexual?
No, I think there are different degrees of sexuality, of course.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You don't think so? Wait a minute. This is another important question.
Yeah, I wonder if the restaurant named Hooters is sexual.
Of sexuality? Do you think there's varying degrees of sexuality?
Royce, I think that.
Do you think a kiss on a sitcom is the same? Do you think a kiss on a television, a national broadcasted television sitcom?
I don't think a kiss is inherently sexual. You don't think that like grandmothers kissing their kids, you think that's a sexual act, or it's just a
no, I mean a romantic kiss. Let's make it more granular. Do you think a romantic kiss in a movie or on a television show is the same as watching a full-blown hardcore porno?
Obviously not. Who's saying that? You're creating this conflation yourself.
No,
I've never
you
once
just said that. You said that the sexuality of Hooters.
I've said that Hooters is an inherently
should be
sexual
considered
place.
the same as the. Why'd you ask that though? What does Hooters have to do with the drag show?
Because I don't think that the government should be able to dictate where people go in their free time. That's just something that's not okay for me. If you don't want to bring your kids to Hooters, don't bring your kids to Hooters. If you don't want to bring your kids to a drag show, don't bring your kid to a drag show.
You think we should be able to bring underage kids to a
I just don't think I think about drag shows as much as you. I don't think I think about drag shows as much.
You do realize you can't bring an underage kid to a bar where they're serving alcohol, right?
Yeah, and I think
they can't sit at the bar.
I don't.
You want to repeal that law?
I'm not saying that, but what do you?
You just said that. You actually just said that. You said the government shouldn't be.
You're talking about
you
bouncers. You're saying that we should have bouncers that stop kids from coming into drag shows. Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying the police should get involved with arresting these people?
What I'm saying is that the Democrat Party has culturally accepted it at a spiritual and moral and ethical level.
And I'm saying, what's your solution to this cultural acceptance?
Oh, my solution would be that people like Kamala Harris and anybody else who's on your side should stand up and denounce it and disavow it the same way you demand of Donald Trump and any other, extreme ideology that he may be loosely connected to from somebody who endorsed him, who he's never talked to. You may have never talked to a drag queen yourself personally, but you don't seem to be disavowing that extreme behavior.
Well, I have talked to
in Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's case, it's a little different. They actually do fraternize and sort of, they kind of hang out with that crowd. They actually affirm it. You're not. I haven't heard you do that because I don't know you that well, but they certainly do. But you're not even willing to disavow it.
You're inherently labeling all drag queens as sexual, even though you just said that there's varying degrees of sexuality.
I didn't say that.
Some drag performances are people that dress up as like Grimace. I've seen Grimace as McDonald's, the mascot.
Grimace drag queens. Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I was specific. I was very specific in my example. I asked you, do you think
personally,
it's okay?
I would not be okay with my kids doing that.
I didn't ask you that. I said, do you think it's okay for other people to do it?
I don't think that the government should be focused.
I didn't ask about the government. I'm asking about you. What do you think?
I would not bring my kids to
do
that type of
you think
sexual
it's okay for other people to do it?
I don't police other people. That's my thing at the end of the day.
Then that's exactly what it is, right?
All right.
So you don't have any ground to talk about Donald Trump's morality or his character because you can't call those balls and strikes.
You're right.
Buddy.
We should just allow
you can't call those balls and strikes
civilly liable for sexual abuse. You're right. We should just throw that.
Was Joe Biden accused of rape?
Yeah, and I think that that's something that should be prosecuted if they're credible allegations. I'm not a Joe Biden cheerleader like you're a cheerleader for Trump. 100%.
Was Bill Clinton accused of rape?
Absolutely. Yes. Please, Royce. Now we're getting somewhere.
So why
let's start holding these politicians accountable?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's start with this.
I love that. But the reason is you're throwing away Donald Trump. You're not okay doing that with Donald Trump. That's why you're doing these whataboutisms. You're like, well, actually, what about Bill Clinton? I'm in favor of prosecuting them all, Royce. I'm not afraid. Yeah, absolutely.
So how can you, if you're in favor of prosecuting Bill Clinton and Joe Biden, how can you, in good faith, stand up here and say that you're going to vote for Kamala Harris
when she won't, Royce? It's
she won't distance herself or disavow her?
Reduction is my philosophy. Wow, that's
right.
Crazy how you haven't heard me at the end of the day.
Conveniently, your harm reduction takes all of the moral flaws and inconsistencies and sort of.
I gave you the hypothetical at the beginning of this. If a candidate said I want to kill 500 people and the other one said I want to kill 1,000 people, both of those are terrible people. I don't think that killing is okay.
Candidate has
but I'm okay with the 500 people.
Your candidate
over 1,000 people being
your
killed.
Candidate has
I'm
two former
500
presidents
people by voting for that person. You're not understanding this.
Your candidate has two former presidents that have sexual assault and rape allegations against him. That's two more than Donald Trump has.
You're voting for the guy that has the sexual assault cases against him.
Oh, so there's a separation
associated with.
Oh, wait a second. This is very interesting.
Oh,
so Jake, just give me the time here, sir. Please, Jake. I know you're probably busy, but this is important. You see how we're getting to
I'm actually enjoying this way too much.
You see how we're getting to the root of it? You know, what you're really saying, look at what you're saying here now. You're saying now that there's separation between the person having first degree involvement in the situation and the people who may be around them or associated
Royce,
with them.
You're trying so hard to defend somebody who is a rapist. Sorry about that. I don't know why. I don't know why you're doing that.
No, what I'm saying is you can't call the balls and strikes on it because you're unwilling to carry the same standard across the board.
What are you talking about?
You're saying you are. I'm going to explain it to you, sir, because you're having trouble. I know when you liberals get caught up in this manic defense of the Democrats.
You're the one who's been cheerleading Donald Trump this whole time. How's it taste?
Donald Trump was accused of rape. You're saying that
accused of rape?
Yeah.
No, there was an unbiased jury. There was an unbiased jury who found him guilty. How do you think the criminal justice system works?
He wasn't proven guilty of criminal rape. That's a fact.
If somebody, because the statute of limitations was removed, that's the only reason why it wasn't a criminal case and was a civil case.
Well, now you're talking about the technicalities. The bottom line is he wasn't convicted of criminal rape.
Technicalities are important. He was civilly held guilty of rape. That's something that's important.
Wait. You do realize the burden of proof for civil liability is way different than criminal, right?
Yeah, just because it doesn't have to be a 51% doesn't mean that this person's still
just because. That's an important point.
No, if
the burden of proof being 51%,
if you were trying to hire a babysitter,
is
Royce,
different.
If you were trying to hire someone to babysit your kids and they were held civilly liable,
so you don't believe in the American justice system,
but
right?
you think that person should be the president.
You don't believe in the American justice.
That's what's silly.
You don't believe in our laws. You don't believe in the way they work.
Thanks for the straw man. I bet it's really easy to defeat boogeyman.
You don't even believe in the standard. You don't even believe in the standard of burden of proof for civil versus criminal. So how can you use the civil?
What do you mean?
How can you use?
What do you mean? I've never once conflated and said that civil and criminal are different. That's why I stated he was held civilly liable for sexual abuse.
That's not criminal.
I agree. That's the whole reason why I said civilly liable.
Then you can't say he's guilty of rape.
Just because you're held civilly liable doesn't mean that you didn't do the crime. It just means
that you're not guilty of it. It means that you're not guilty of it.
He's civilly guilty of sexual abuse.
He's not criminally guilty of rape, is what I said, and it's true. It's a fact. See, you want to take the verdict of the court as gospel when it helps your voter fraud narrative, but now you say, well, the evidence wasn't there in the statute of limitations. So
all right, let's not even throw that in. Let's say him calling his daughter a hot
now you are going
to
throw that out, aren't you?
No, let's call him throwing out his daughter.
You see that logical deduction I just ran on you?
No, you're crying about it. That's the only reason why I'm moving from it, because we have multiple other points that we have.
Yeah, no.
Him saying that he'd date his daughter if they weren't related. That's fucking weird, dude. Come on.
No, he didn't say that.
He did. He literally said that on The View.
First of all, he didn't.
He said if that was my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You don't think that's weird? Yeah, there's the family values conservatives that I see.
You can't talk about. Wait a minute. Wait a second, Jake. Wait a second. You can wait a second. First of all,
yeah. Say it one more time. How about wait a second? One more.
First of all, let's go back to a marriage culture a long time back when men actually married their daughters away, and you were involved. Well,
there we go.
I mean, it was a part of our culture at one point. In fact, it still happens today. There's still arranged marriages actually in our country. 100%. It's not illegal.
And I think that would you disagree?
But in that culture, it's perfectly reasonable to say my daughter is a good catch, is a woman that a man would want to marry. I would marry her if I wasn't her father. That's not wrong.
And this is the contradiction.
You're trying to sexualize it because your movement is hypersexualized.
You're the one who's saying that everything's sexual. What are you talking about?
If I raise a beautiful daughter and I raise her with good morals and good values, and I think that she makes a suitable life partner,
and you'd say she's a fine piece of ass. That's the language you'd use?
He didn't say. He said she was hot.
No, look it up. Look it up right now on Howard Stern. The whole audience can do that. If you're not ideologically predisposed,
if that's the word
listen
he
to what
wants
Royce
to
said.
Use.
Okay, now you're conceding it.
I'm not. I didn't see the clip. I just.
We can pull it up. Jake, do we have time to pull it up right now just to fact check this guy?
Is that the basis? What are you trying to say? What are you saying? He's a pedophile. Are you saying he's a pedophile?
I think it's weird to say your daughter's a hot piece of ass. And
but
I think if you're denying that,
pedophile.
Would you say it's weird?
Okay, is it weird that Joe Biden's daughter says that he took showers?
Oh, here's the whataboutisms. Is it weird that Donald Trump said that his daughter's a hot piece of ass?
What's wrong with whataboutisms? The entirety of political debate is whataboutism.
Because I want you to give one criticism to Trump, and you failed to do that. You cheerlead for him this entire debate.
No, I'm just defending that he's a better choice than Kamala.
Gotcha. So it is weird that he said his daughter's a hot piece of ass.
And if you brought up something that I didn't agree with Trump on, I would say it.
What about when he said his daughter's a hot piece of ass? Do you disagree with that?
No, I think she is pretty hot.
Do you think that is weird that he says that as her dad?
I wouldn't say it. It might be a little weird. Yeah.
Okay, cool. There we go. I'm glad that you were able to admit that. I thought it was 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of trying to ask you.
That's not the point, though.
Thanks for finally acknowledging.
I thought it was weird. I'll say this.
I
thought it was weird. I thought the context of him saying grab a woman by the vagina was conversationally weird. It's not something that I would say. But I don't know Donald Trump and his friend groups and how they talk. Me and my friends, we would probably say it a different way when we were in the locker room back in the day when I was playing sports or whatnot. We might not use that exact phrasing.
You grope them in a different way. Gotcha.
No, we would say it in a different way. We would say anything in a different way because we just talk different.
But would you agree with the idea of groping the woman?
No, what I agree with the fact that Donald Trump was expressing a very widespread cultural reality that women tend to have different sexual standards for men who have a lot of money or are
right. They
in
let
public
them grope
importance.
them, right? Because when you're a
They
star,
actually do. That's a fact.
I know. And when you're a star, you can do that.
Wait, are you
If you're
disagreeing
saying
with that? Are you disagreeing with that?
I'm saying that Donald Trump saying that is.
Are you
is a
disagreeing with the
harsh-
fact that women allow men a different sexual standard when they have money or some type of public prominence?
I don't think whatever pressure women feel in specific scenarios should be
Oh,
justified
yeah.
just because people are at a certain
That's
social
not
standing.
that's not an answer. Do you think that
So
in
you think
American
women-
culture, women treat men
Wait. You sound
differently?
like that you're one of those people that say if a woman was drunk and she was raped, then she had it coming because she got drunk.
I didn't say that at all.
Well, that's
Careful
the
the
same logic
TOS
that you're
boys.
going.
Can we use grape? Can we use grape, please?
I didn't.
Sure,
wait a
sure,
minute. I didn't say that at all. What are you saying? I never said that.
You just said, is that not a reality that women just let a powerful men grope them? And I said that's a weird thing to justify and
That's
victim
actually
blame.
not what I said.
That is what you said.
I said, do women have a different set of sexual standards for men that have money?
But we're talking about Donald Trump specifically groping them. I know you're trying to water it down as much as we can.
No, he fits that criteria. He fits that criteria.
Yeah, of somebody who admitted to groping women.
Do you think there are women? I'll ask you this question. I'll ask you this question. Do you think there are women that have had consensual sex with Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Do you think that he's somebody that your typical woman would find physically attractive?
No.
So why are they having consensual sex with him?
Because of the status. I never said that the women don't. I never said women don't consensually do that. I'm talking about the grope. I'm talking about the grope. Get dunked when he says I grab women by their what? Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
well let's take it a level deeper. Let's take it a level deeper. In Americans' modern sexual culture, is there not
Jake, I'm so sorry. Royce, I've been having a lot of fun with this. And, it's really fun to hear just hypocrisy on the right. But it is 30 minutes over my previous.
Listen. Yeah, no, I do understand. We did say we'd keep it to 2 hours. And I do appreciate you both being a good sport and staying on.
I'm surprised you don't have more to do as a senatorial candidate, Royce. I'm going to be honest. But
the whole point is to preach the truth to the people. That's what your representative should do.
Fair enough.
And it's important to get on platforms. I think it's good when people get on independent platforms as
I like
well.
To debunk the propaganda.
And everything. But Royce, you're always welcome on the channel. Mason, you're always welcome as well. We're going to put some panels together and everything. So let's stay in touch. I appreciate you guys both being a good sport. It's good to be able to throw hands in the debate and then to be able to just shake hands after and call it a day. So thank you guys so much. If you have any last words, you can put them in now.
I have one thing, Royce, I want to say, and this is a compliment. I really respect your ability to be an advocate of mental health. I saw that, I'm not bringing this up as something that's wrong. Like, obviously, you didn't have an NBA career because you're somebody who said that, your mental health is something that's worth preserving and it's important. Yeah. And I really appreciate you doing that. I wish you'd say the same thing for people who are marginalized, who are demonized, because there are a lot of people that are in your own corner that would say that you're somebody, who didn't have the strength in order to push through anxieties. And I don't think that personally. And I hope you do the same for marginalized groups. That's just one thing I wanted to say.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even know if take that as a compliment. That was like a compliment and then an insult all at the same time.
It wasn't an insult. I think that I'm just saying that people within your party I would disagree with who would be like critical of that. I think that fighting for mental health is something that's important.
I'll tell you this. When it comes to the MAGA movement and the American Republican Party, I'm the tip of the spear now. So if you want to talk about the Republican Party and who's going to be the vanguard or the standard bearer intellectually for the party, that would be me. So I don't really have to measure myself against anybody else in the party. We don't have that type of collectivist group thought problem over here. We have many disagreements on our side. I even have some with Donald Trump. To your NBA point or to the mental health point, yeah, mental health is a very important thing. I hate to see it weaponized right now on the left. I hate to see general anxiety disorder and depression and substance abuse and all these other very, very harmful epidemics in our American culture be conflated with this pseudo-intellectual field of study known as gender theory. I hate to see that. I hate to see the plight of Black people in this country conflated with an individual who wakes up on a Tuesday morning having heard their grade school teacher tell them they can change their gender on Monday and think, hey, I'm a Z-Zim. I hate, in fact, it insults me. And this is where I say, Jake, at the end, like I said to David Pakman, and I'll keep shouting these white liberals down every time you try and commingle this identity politics designation of marginalized with the plight of Black people. It's exactly why 50% of the Black men 18 to 44 aren't voting for your candidate.
All right, fellas.
Let's see the results on election day.